Hello and welcome everybody to this evening's debate. Hello to wherever you are joining us from. I can see people from all over the world now joining into today's debate. My name is Joe and I'm going to be chairing this evening's entertainment on the motion that you have in front of you, the topic before your very eyes. Who is the greatest of all time? Is it Messi? Is it Ronaldo? You will be deciding later after you've heard from our special guests. I love this point in proceedings when I can see the numbers getting up higher and higher and higher as people join our webinar. We are delighted to have so many people tuning in from all over, football fans, debaters, people from the DebateMate family, young people, all joining in this evening for one of the biggest debates in modern football. Who is the greatest of all time? Is it Messi? Is it Ronaldo? I know I've had this conversation hundreds of times with my friends in the group chats, at the kitchen table. This conversation is always rumbling and always going on. And I'm sure everyone that's tuning in today will have an opinion. But we've got some people for today's debate positioned who have some real expertise on the topic, as well as just being absolute massive football fans like all of us. And we can't wait to hear from them as well. Okay, I can hear the numbers, see the numbers going up, but I'm just going to get going so we can get this debate started. Let me first and foremost get this poll up on screen. You should be able to see a poll up on the screen, and it says how are you feeling today, and also where are you dialing in from. So let us know in the poll how you're feeling today. Are you amazing, amazing with 1 exclamation mark, or amazing with 2 exclamation marks, where you're tuning in from? Are you from Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australasia, Europe, North America, South America? Wow, we've got a real spread. I can see people from the continent of Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Europe, North America, all tuning in today's debate, which is really fantastic. Whilst you answer those questions, let me just give you a brief introduction to who DebateMate are and what you can expect today. DebateMate are an educational organization that operate all over the world, delivering debate training, communication and leadership training to young people and professionals to help people all over the world, no matter how old you are, what stage of your life that you are in, help you to develop your voice so you can speak up on the opinions that matter to you in a way that is respectful, considered, but above all, very, very persuasive. Whether it's football, whether it's something about wanting to go into politics, using it in your job, using it in your studies, being able to use your voice effectively is one of the most powerful and important skills. And what our program does is it helps you get better at using your voice very, very quickly. You'll see and hear from some of our speakers today. You're going to hear from some experts that use their voice to communicate for their job every single day. And you'll be able to appreciate how important it is to be able to debate and have influence. Please use the chat at the bottom there, where you can show your opinions. Tell us, who do you support? Let us know in the chat. Who is your favorite player? Let us know in the chat, and we're going to see how big the network is today. Let me just show you how big the span of our team is here today. So we've got a majority of people feeling amazing with 2 exclamation marks, but it's 100% win for amazing. Then where are you dialing in from? We have some audience members from, and we can only got enough space to do this in continents, on the continent of Africa, Antarctica, Asia, a majority for Europe at 64%, and then also North America. So a really, really international crowd today, which is fantastic. We'd love to see that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started for what you've all come along for today. The reason you've spent your Monday evening with us, the reason why you want to tune into this right now is to find out who is the GOAT, who is the greatest of all time, Messi or Ronaldo. Now, before we get into this debate, let me just quickly take a moment to say, we want to say, just all take a moment to celebrate the life of Diego Maradona, who we tragically lost recently, who was, of course, one of the greatest of all time, one of the most iconic, stylish, effective, fantastic footballers of a generation. And we can talk all the time about who is the greatest, and it's hard to say who is the greatest ever, but Maradona is always in that discussion, always in that debate. What a player, what a legend. And it's a real honor to be able to have this debate, the eve of Messi and Ronaldo going up against each other in the real world. Tomorrow, Barcelona and Juventus go up against each other. Two of the modern day greats, the two big people in this conversation, they are playing tomorrow, and we get to have this discussion just before all the pundits do, just before all the journalists do, debate mate style. Okay, but let's find out, who do you think, audience, is the GOAT? Is it Messi or is it Ronaldo? Let us know now on the poll just here. Let us know in the chat. It's looking very balanced already, as predicted, but someone's taking a bit of a lead. Someone is taking a bit of a lead. I wonder if you can guess who it is. Let me tell you, whilst you're voting, how this is going to work. So we're going to hear from two speakers on either side. You'll see from the screen that we have Guillem and Millie on side Messi, and we have Flex and Emmanuel on side Ronaldo. We'll hear first from Guillem, then we'll go over to Flex. Then Guillem will be able to respond to Flex, and then Flex will be able to respond to Guillem. Then we'll have some questions from you, the audience, which will then be addressed by Millie and Emmanuel in their closing speeches. So please use the chat and use the Q&A to ask questions. You can see that there's a chat for just comments, but there's a Q&A function at the bottom as well. Use that if you want to ask a question that will be directed to some of the audience, to some of the speakers. Now, without further ado, let me just end this poll, share the results. You can see that so far, the audience do think that Messi is coming out on top, but it's by no means a categorical win for Messi. It's tight with Ronaldo also in there, very close as well. 67% for Messi, 33% for Ronaldo. Okay, without further ado, can I please ask you all, wherever you are, whether on Zoom, YouTube, whatever content you're on, to give a big round of applause and welcome today's debaters. Debaters, please turn your cameras on and join today's debate. Fantastic. Welcome to our special guests, Guillem, Flex, Emmanuel, and Millie, who will be joining today's debate. We've got some fantastic experts here with us today. I'm now going to introduce the first speaker on side proposition. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whether you've just finished school, whether you've just finished work, whether you're just waking up in a different time zone, get ready now for today's debate. And I'm going to introduce the next speaker. The first speaker is Guillem Balague. Now, Guillem is one of the best positioned people in the entire world to have this debate. He has written the autobiography of not just Messi, but also Ronaldo. He's also made documentaries about both Messi and Ronaldo. He's a journalist, he's an author, he's a pundit, he's a footballing expert, and we're really, really delighted to having him here today. He's actually also the chairman of Biggleswade United Football Club, and straight after this debate, he's going straight to their board meeting where he'll be having more footballing debates on different topics about how to run Biggleswade. Okay, Guillem, over to you. Everyone, please give him a big round of applause for today's first speaker. It is Guillem Balague.
Thank you, Joe. I can hear all you clapping. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start from the end. Right now, Messi is not at his best. He scored 3 goals in the Champions League in 3 games. He scored 4 goals in La Liga in 10 games. Not his usual best. But I spoke at the weekend they played against Cadiz, and Barcelona lost against Cadiz. Cadiz, a team that had just been promoted. I spoke to the coaching staff at Cadiz, trying to find out, for the purpose of this debate, what they did in regards of Messi. And what they told me was that they never ever played. Remember, Cadiz just appeared in the first division, but they never played against a side that had a player that was so influential and they needed to do so much for. This is still a 33-year-old player that, as I'm saying, perhaps lately he's not at his best. What did that mean? Well, they had to add an extra holding midfielder. So instead of 2, they had 3. They had to defend very compact, all the lines together. They had to make sure whoever was close to him that he didn't turn, because if he turned towards goal, that's where he creates a lot of danger by running with the ball or a see-through pass. Most of the instructions that the manager gave during the game, this is Álvaro Cervera, were related to Messi, because he attracts 3 players every time. Every time he's got the ball, 3 players consciously or unconsciously attracts 3 players to him. And that's still the influence of Messi. There's no other player in world football right now that attracts so much attention, and he needs so much attention for the rivals. Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other hand, he needs a powerful centre-back, a second centre-back with him, but you don't change the formation in the way that Messi does for you. Ronaldo, you have to defend him well, and even if when you defend him well, he will score goals. Of course he will. We're talking about 2 of the best ever. Now, this is in terms of the influence of both players now. Messi has scored 29 goals in 29 finals. In the history of the game, that's never, ever happened before. That means that in the most important of games, when it really matters, when you have to win because defeat is unbearable, when your team and everybody's prepared for that, he's the one taking the team to the goal, which is getting them closer to the victory. 29 goals in 29 finals. Nobody ever in the history of the game did that, not even Pelé. Let's look a little bit the context of it. The evolution of Messi has been he has taken away himself 20 meters from goal. He used to score, there was a season that scored 73 goals. He went from being a wide player to being almost like a striker, false 9, and now he decided to take 20 meters away from the goal, while Ronaldo gets 20 meters closer to goal. So with 20 meters going deeper, going away from goal, the rival goal, you're still influential because you're such a complete player that can do the pass, that can help the fluidity of the game, that can appear in the box and score as well. He can do all that, the pass and the goal. Cristiano can do the goal. That's his main asset, and a huge asset it is as well. So I want them both in my team if I could have them. I know that in the MLS, there is one club that has tried it to convince to have them both in the team, but failed. In China, the same. Juventus tried it as well in the summer, but they don't have enough money for all that. But having to choose, for me, the difference between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi is the difference between a poem and a hammer. Both useful in many ways, but I prefer the poem.
Fantastic, Guillem. Give Guillem a big round of applause. Thank you very much for that opening debate speech. And I can see the comments starting to really get very excited and lively now after that opening speech. The poem and the hammer, both useful, but I know which one Guillem would rather have. Thank you very much, Guillem, for that excellent opening speech. And I can see now Flex starting to get himself ready to psych himself up for the first speaker on side opposition. And we're delighted to have Flex here with us today. Flex will be arguing on side Ronaldo. Flex is a presenter on the United Stand, one of the most successful YouTube football channels. We're getting almost 1 million subscribers, a really, really successful YouTube channel, and really pioneering this new way of people consuming football content. He's also in his spare time a BTEC ambassador. He spent 9 years as a youth worker, so he really understands DebateMate and our wider mission as well. He supports Man United, and he is delighted to be arguing in favor of his, I presume, his old favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo. Put your hands together, please, for Flex.
Thank you, guys. The first thing I will say is everyone will probably think that I am debating Ronaldo because of the United allegiance, and they 100% are right. They are right, and that is why he is the GOAT out of these two. But Guillem said some amazing things there, obviously all factual, and I understand that. And you said about the hammer there, and I did find that very interesting. But for me, I've gone with the 2 Gs. And that is the gifted and the grafter, right? Now, for me, I think Messi's been blessed with his talent. Unbelievable. And the reason why I think Ronaldo is the GOAT as opposed to Messi is because I think that Messi has that God-given talent where I believe that Messi could probably not eat well, probably not train that much. And I still think he'll be as good as he is because he just is that good. When I look at Ronaldo, one thing I do look at is I think he's not as technically gifted as Lionel Messi. I can understand that. But I think that takes more hard work. I think that takes more dedication. I think the way he looks after himself. And not only that, he's managed to be in the same category with Messi with this whole long span of time. And for me as well, I don't like unanswered questions, Guillem, and people who are on the Messi side, and you, Millie. And for me, I don't like unanswered questions. And what I mean by that is the what ifs. So Ronaldo has gone, I'm not content just staying here at Manchester United and winning titles and being an absolute legend here. I'm going to go to Real Madrid. I'm going to go up against, arguably, and Guillem can probably come back with this and put it in its context, the best ever football side there has been for a very, very long time in that prime Barcelona side, prime Barcelona side. He went up against them and competed and won all the honors there was to win. His goal record speaks for itself. And what I love about that is he's cancelled the what ifs. I don't know what Messi would be like on a cold night at Stoke. I don't know what Messi would be like against Burnley with a Sean Dykes low block, kicking 10 bells out of him. I don't know if Messi will be up for that in Burnley. I don't know. It's easy to say that he will be because he's an amazing player. But what I love about Ronaldo is that I do know what it would be like if he goes to Spain. I now know what it would be like if he goes to Italy. He's gone to Italy now and put numbers up on the board. So for me, I prefer Cristiano Ronaldo, not just because of what he done at my club, which is a really easy argument to make, and I understand that. Not just because of the success that he brought to my club, not just because he's a legend, but because I don't have any what ifs. And if we want to go to the international stage, we can take it there too. Now, I understand that record there, what you said, Guillem, about not even Pele had put up that much goals in a final. And I understand that. But I think Messi, in a very, very, very talented Argentinian side, let's not forget, with some of the top players in world football, I would say more so than Cristiano Ronaldo's Portuguese counterparts, has not managed to do it at the world stage. We've got failed World Cups, failed Copa Americas. He has not done the business at international stage. Cristiano Ronaldo is the record goal scorer for Portugal. He's very close to just eclipsing that, I believe. And you know, he's won the European Championships. When the big goals are calling for Cristiano Ronaldo at international level, not only does he do it at club level, he does it at international level. So I'm looking at a player that there isn't one stone unturned with this player. With Messi, I accept these two are the only two candidates for the GOAT of our generation. However, for me, there can only be one winner. He's gone and proved it. I think Messi, personally, I don't think he fancies it. I think he likes being, he is Barcelona. He is Barcelona. Ronaldo is football. And I think that there is the difference for me, because Ronaldo could have stayed at Manchester United and he could have gone on to probably be manager by now with the way that we're playing. I understand that. But player manager. But he goes, nah, I want to go and prove it at the highest. Then he went and became Real Madrid's all-time goal scorer. Now he's gone to Italy and he's doing exactly the same thing. So for me, no stone left unturned. He's done it in England. He's done it in Spain. He's done it in Italy. We don't even need to see him go to the MLS. We don't even need to see him go to China. He'll do it there as well. So for me, Ronaldo, GOAT.
Give it up for Flex. What a response. Great speech there. Thank you very much, Flex. After that opening from Guillem, I didn't know how it was going to go down, but Flex, what a response. And I hope you can all feel it now. We've got a real debate on our hands. I don't know which way I'm going. I don't know if you do as well, audience. You're flicking between the two. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, the rules change a little bit. We're going to go back to Guillem, then we're going to go back to Flex, but now we are allowed what we call points of information. Now, a point of information is where the other side can ask a question to the speaker in the middle of their speech. It's up to the speaker to then accept or reject. Those of you that have done Debate Mate before will know this, but those of you that are new to us, you'll be seeing it for the first time. There's not much more to say than that, but if you see Emmanuel, Millie, Flex, Guillem making an interruption to one of these speeches, they are allowed to. It's up to the speaker to accept or reject. We're going to hear from Guillem, then we're going to hear from Flex, then we're going to kind of come out to you, to the audience, to hear if you've got any questions, and then we're going to get summary speeches from Emmanuel and Millie. Okay, Guillem, over to you.
Well, you touched on a few things, Fletch. The first one is that he was a hard worker, or he's a hard worker, and that Messi is less of a hard worker. I give you that debate. Cristiano needs to work harder to get to the level of Messi, of course. No problem, but that's not what we're debating. We're debating who is better. And then you talk about changing clubs as if that was a measure of greatness. This is like saying that you cannot talk about champagne because all you drank all your life is Moet Chandon. So what do you know about champagne? Moet Chandon being the best champagne around. Messi had the possibility of leaving. Of course he did. He hadn't done it. Is that a sign of weakness? Or has he actually been part of, I think we will agree, the best team in history to reach heights that never been reached before? Partly down to him in a great part. And at a time when people started leaving because of age or because they decided to move to other clubs, Pep Guardiola goes, Xavi Hernandez starts disappearing from the team, he still remains there and makes them again winner of everything under Luis Enrique. So I don't see that as a sign of weakness. I see that actually a sign of greatness. There is no denial that when Cristiano Ronaldo has gone everywhere, he's actually made a huge impact. Has it been as big an impact as Messi has? Well, this is where I give you some stats for those of you that need stats. For instance, between club and national team, Messi has scored 712 goals in 885 matches. It's 0.8 goals per match. 0.8 goals per match. Almost 1 goal per match. Messi, 0.73. Very good. Simply not good enough. Messi has given 301 assists, 0.3 per game. Cristiano, 0.2. Messi has got the record of goals in one year calendar, 91 goals, which is mental. And also in a season, 73 goals. In the Champions League, you would say, well, Cristiano has helped Real Madrid to get to 3-4 Champions League finals and win them. But actually, Messi has got a better average in goals, 0.81 Messi, and Cristiano, 0.75. I'm afraid that I've got a whole page of all the stats in which Messi is better. But if you don't want to touch that bit, if you just want to go into feelings, for instance, the national side, you say that it was an extraordinary Argentina. I completely disagree with you. It was a bad Argentina that has actually managed to get in a golden age for Argentina to 2 Copa America finals, both of them lost in a penalty shootout. So not much that Messi could do there. And a World Cup final, which of course Cristiano has been not to a final anyway. And he was voted the best player of that World Cup. That was 2014. So whatever he does something, he seems to be the best at. For me, the thing that certainly takes it toward Messi is the fact that he's done it consistently for 15 years. That explains, 6 Ballon d'Ors that it is now. And that explains that the teams he's been involved with, up till now anyway, have been very competitive. The reason why he probably wants to leave, and looks like he may even leave, is because he feels that Barcelona cannot compete at that level. Then that's a sign of braveness as well. Thinking this team is going down, I need to keep winning, and then he goes and does it somewhere else, having for 15 years helped Barcelona reach the highest levels in a football team has done ever, in my mind, anyway.
Thank you very much to Guillem. Give him another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And just before I cross over back to Flex to hear what his response is going to be, I'm going to remind you that you can ask questions in the Q&A at the bottom. We are also going to welcome a few people to come up and ask questions on audio. So if you want to raise your hand, where when it gets to the Q&A section, we can come to you and hear if you want to ask a question, and then we'll be able to direct those questions towards the speakers. But before we get to that, we're going to hear again from Flex. We're going to follow on from Guillem's fantastic speech. Let's go over to you, Flex, to hear the next speech on Side Ronaldo.
Yeah, I do you know what? In a debate where you have to back your player, I don't disagree with a lot of what Guillem said, because you can't. These are two outstanding players of our generation. But what I want to home in on is, like what Guillem was saying, is everywhere Ronaldo has gone to, he has completely smashed it. And the reason I want to talk about that is because you look at the state of the current Real Madrid side without Cristiano Ronaldo, they look like an average Premier League team, I would say. They have not replaced his goals. They have not replaced his importance, because you can't. And I get it. When Guillem was saying it takes 3 different players to mark Messi, sometimes teams don't even try and change their formations to suit Ronaldo, because you can't. Because if he's going to leap like a salmon and outjump his defender, he's going to do it. If he's going to pick out a free kick from 25, 30 yards, he's going to do it. If he's going to cut in from the left-hand side and stick it in the top corner, he's going to do it. So I think you can look at it one way, which is actually, okay, before we set the team out, we're going to have these 3 players dropping deep, make sure Messi doesn't get the ball and turn. I'm going to take this one from Guillem to keep it interesting. Let's go, Guillem.
Fletch, if you had a team,
yes,
right, a team of any level, who would you rather have? Someone that finishes the moves, and I guarantee you that this player actually does it very often, so he's very, very effective, or someone who is also very effective, but can also create? Who would you have?
I would have the person who finishes the move, and I know what minerals they got. It's all about minerals for me. If I'm a gaffer, Guillem, right? If I'm gaffer, imagine this was Biggleswade Town, right? Sorry, Biggleswade United. Imagine it was them.
Right.
I want to know what minerals my players got. And I question Messi's minerals. I don't know what's inside there. I want to know a guy that if a 6'4" centre-half comes and wants to kick lumps, we can go to party. We can go to the dance floor. I want to know if there's a smaller, nippier centre-half who wants to try and let's do pace. I want to dance with you. I want to know we can do that. If you want to make it physical, if you want to turn me, if you want to hold, if you want to do elbows, I'm up for it. I want to know that out of my players. So to answer your question, I would go with the player that I know there's different versions of them I can get. I only know one type of Lionel Messi, and that is an outstanding Messi, by the way. That is an outstanding Messi. But to answer your question, that's who I would go with. And for me, like I said about Messi in the first instance, is you said it could be weakness, or it could be because they were achieving so much. I would say it's comfortability. I would say it's because everything's nice. I would say it's because you have everything. For me, the true GOATs seek more, seek new challenges. It's almost like
on that point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hypothetically, if Cristiano Ronaldo stayed at Real Madrid for longer, or hypothetically stayed at United for his whole career and scored the exact same number of goals, won the exact same personal and team accolades, would you still say he's better than Messi? Or is the only difference in your eyes the fact he's jumped across the national border and done it against some different players?
That there is my biggest tick box for Ronaldo. Not having that lack of desire to prove beyond reasonable doubt. When you're in a court of law, you have to prove beyond any means of reasonable doubt. And guess what? With Lionel Messi, I see reasonable doubt. Yes, Guillem, go for it.
Just one word. One word for you, Flex. Michael Jordan.
I knew you.
I guess you don't appreciate.
LeBron's the GOAT.
I guess you don't appreciate his greatness because
LeBron's the GOAT. LeBron's the GOAT. So we could do an NBA one of debate, mate, if you want, because I'm LeBron. I'm team LeBron. So everyone forgets.
I think.
Go on, Guillem.
You talk about comfort. When you talk about the GOATs, you cannot talk about comfort, because the thing that makes them the best is actually the ability to challenge themselves constantly and never be happy. There is no comfort at all in that. In fact, the fact that they are at the forefront of everything, the number ones, 91 goals, 73 goals in a season, all that kind of thing, and then trying to beat that, because that really is the challenge for them to actually be better every single time. Even when your body says that cannot happen, they still go and challenge themselves. There's no comfort at all in actually, for instance, beating Barcelona in the last 3-4 years, when quite clearly the team was going down and he was holding it together. He has held it together for as long as he could. No comfort at all. So if you're going to accuse Messi or something, don't use that one.
Well, I'll tell you what though. How about this, guys? Can we all agree on this though? As soon as the going has got tough at Barcelona, what did Messi want to do? He wanted to jump ship then.
He stayed on for about 5 years.
They've
things have gone bad for 5 years.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to have to stop you there to move it on, but let's give Flex another massive round of applause. That was a fantastic speech, and I love seeing Flex and Guillem go back and forth. We're now going to open it up to the audience, but before we hear from the final speakers on either side, we've had some great questions there. I saw a great point in the chat asking what happened to Messi when he came to Anfield. That was a big question and something that is important to me personally as well. Guillem, have you got a response to that quickly?
Yeah, best game of the season. He played the best game of the season. It's just that people forget because it was 4-0 and Barcelona were terrible and everybody remembers the corner. I beg you, go on YouTube and have a look at what he did that day. Yeah. He was outstanding. Milia, wasn't he?
Fantastic. I actually happily will rewatch those highlights all over again, many a times to get a little bit of Trent in there as well. Okay, we've got some great questions. I think we might have some people that want to be promoted to ask a question from the floor. I think we're going to go to, we have someone called Moses Johannes is going to be promoted from the floor who has a question. Let me just allow them to talk. If you want, I think under the name of Serena. There we go. Moses, is that you there?
Hi there, Joe. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, Moses, go ahead with your question.
Brilliant. Cheers for that. I'd just like to start with saying, Flex, big up to yourself. Massive United Stand fan. You and KG, brilliant. I love you guys. As well as Mark, got to say it. But yeah, massive United fan, but I'm not going to let that get in the way. My question is, so Messi and Ronaldo, they always kind of get kind of separated as Messi's the God-given gift. Ronaldo's had to work really hard. But for me, I don't believe that. I think Ronaldo, when he burst onto the scene as an 18-year-old, he was probably the most technically gifted player in our squad for a long time. He could do things that we couldn't. Messi as well was kind of, I feel for me, the belief that one's been given a God-given gift is just untrue. I think they both had to work hard for their gifts. But for me, there's only one player that has stood out and honed their craft. And that for me is Ronaldo. So the question, I guess, for you guys is who is the better all-round footballer? Who really is the greatest footballer of all time? And that ticks all of the boxes. Whether they're good goal scorers, good headers of the ball, better work rate. Who is the better all-round footballer? And does that distinguish them as the better player?
Fantastic question, Moses. Thank you very much. That was a great point, and that will be addressed by the summary speakers at the end. And I'm sure Flex and Guillem might have something else they want to say to that. Do we have any more people that would like to ask a question? I've got an Aisha here. Aisha, I'm going to allow you to talk as well. Aisha, over to you.
But what kind of, when Guillem said there was a sort of impact, what kind of impact do you exactly mean?
Great question, Aisha. That's a fantastic question. And if you keep debating, I imagine you can be up here in these debates before long. Fantastic. Okay, so Aisha's question was, we're talking about impact of players, but what do we mean when we say actual impact on the pitch? Thank you very much, Aisha. Keep the questions coming in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. I've got another question coming up here saying, if you could have one of them in a team with all the players with the same capability, who would you rather have and why? So if you were just looking for one player to add that impact on the pitch, who would it be? I've got another question here from someone called Jack. Guillem is a big fan of stats in the debate. Here's a big stat for him. Ronaldo convinced the Portugal team to give up 50% of the Euro 2020 winnings to support the response to the pandemic, and has given so much more. He's a leader on and off the pitch, and that models GOAT behavior everywhere. That's a great fact. I didn't know that. Okay. Do we have any more questions coming in here? Do want to hear from the summary speeches. You know what? Let's end this now and go over to the summary speakers on each side. We're going to hear first from Millie on side Messi, and then we're going to go over to Emmanuel on side Ronaldo. So Millie, over to you. Let's hear what you have to say on today's debate.
Thank you so much, Joe. And I think it's often said, right, that football is the one thing that unites us all around the world. It unites different countries and different communities. And we all switch on the screen to watch the World Cup final, to watch the UEFA League final and things like that, right? So it brings us together, but ultimately also divides us. And football's no more divided than over this question of who's better, Messi or Ronaldo. And I'm actually going to spend my speech today answering Aisha's question about what does it actually mean to be the greatest of all time, because we've lacked a little bit of structure, particularly from side opposition, all right? So I'm going to give you those categories that you need to make your decision. The first, I'd say, longevity and scale, right? How long, what have they achieved at the very top, and for how long have they done that? And then the second point I'm going to talk about here is talent, right? And I'm going to completely rebuff this false dichotomy that we've got set up here, that you're either gifted or you work hard. That's completely untrue. Right? You don't get 6 Ballon d'Ors just because you're good at doing keepy-ups in your back garden, but you don't commit yourself and you don't work incredibly hard, all right? But then I'm going to touch on this third point, and I think this third point is crucial, all right? Because if we're honest to ourselves, nobody says they love football for the statistics, right? They say it, they love it for those moments of passion, of awe-inspiring greatness. And in that third crucial category is where we really see Messi come into his own. So let's look at this first question, longevity and scale. Well, ultimately, I think you can get different stats out there that prove both have played incredibly well for an incredibly long amount of time, all right? Messi started off as a prodigious 17-year-old, Barcelona's youngest ever goal scorer at the time. He got his first hat-trick when he was 19, and he's won Ballon d'Ors for the past 10 years. The last one, most recently, last year at the age of 32 years old. And Ronaldo, not quite as good, but ultimately been on the scene for a similar amount of time, achieved a similar amount. So if we say they're roughly parallel, right? Then we go on to this idea of talent. And here there's 2 questions. How do you play the game? And how do you make others play the game? Well, as we said, the greatest players step up when they're most needed. Those 29 goals in 29 finals are not a coincidence. They don't happen by luck or by accident. But I implore you, don't just look at goals, right? Because as a United fan, I can assure you that you often see reels of greatest moments and greatest goals scored. But when the players are on the pitch, they don't necessarily live up to that hype, all right? I think pretty much every available footballer is linked with United right now. And I'm very familiar with looking at those fantastic reels, okay? But I'm thinking about the dribbles. I'm thinking about the assists here. And as a United fan, I love the 1999 Giggsy semi-final goal where he takes on 3 or 4 players, runs a full half of the pitch and scores, and that's incredible. 99 was obviously a year when my life peaked despite being so young, all right? But Barcelona fans, they get to see that day in, day out, whenever Messi puts on that number 10 shirt, okay? He doesn't just score goals. He takes it past half the team before doing so. He sets up incredible goals for his teammates as well. And I think in that particular category, the category of assists, impact on the game, you'd say Messi is left. And on to this second point, who makes their teammates play better? Well, it's no coincidence Messi was the linchpin of probably the best footballing team in all of history. It's no coincidence that he was part of the MSN forward, Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, right? That literally tore football apart. That gave us the most incredible moments. And it's no coincidence that teams changed their entire formation and structure to try and deal with his talent, right? These are things that we just don't see Ronaldo contributing in the same levels, all right? But it's not just a tick box exercise, all right? On this other side, we hear Flex say national borders are important. I say they're not important when you're playing in the UEFA League against the best players from all around the world. And we see again, Messi has scored more goals here, all right? But ultimately on this third category, and I will hand here, Joe, in just a few seconds, all right? The thing that makes football such an incredible game, the reason that we all love it so much is that when you step onto the field, the excitement of not knowing what's going to happen, all right, the unpredictability, the astonishment and awe that you see when you're completely dumbfounded by the ability and the capacity of someone on the pitch to surprise you, to wonder you, to inspire you yourselves, all right? And those moments, there's not an Opta stat for that, all right? But anyone who's been to the Nou Camp will tell you that that's what you get multiple times in a game. At the same time, you don't hear the same about the Bernabeu, all right? That doesn't always happen with Ronaldo. And so, Ronaldo undoubtedly will be remembered for his goals, but Messi's, ladies and gentlemen, he will be remembered for his magic. And that's what you need to carry in your hearts and in your heads when you make your decision in this debate. Thank you very much.
Big up, Millie. What a speech to end the debate for side Messi. Really well done, Millie, there. And I just realized we're getting so excited to hear your speech. I didn't even introduce you. Millie was a former DebateMate mentor. She mentored all over the UK and, in fact, the world on the DebateMate program, teaching young people. Before she did that, she was actually a player at the Manchester United Academy. She was a fantastic, well, she still is a fantastic footballer. And I think still harbors the dream of going pro one day. If not, she'll definitely be involved in football in some way. She's currently studying her master's at the London School of Economics. But let me cross over now to Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a DebateMate student. He goes to Sacred Heart School in Camberwell. He's been doing DebateMate for years and years and years, 5 or 6 years. He's won so many DebateMate competitions. He did work experience in the DebateMate office. He's on his hopefully on his way to study computer science at university next year. He's a fantastic debater. Let's give it up for Emmanuel to close the debate on side Ronaldo. Give it up.
Good evening, folks, ladies and gentlemen. It's obviously clear we've heard good points from both sides, but I'm sure you guys listening to this debate have realized that it's Ronaldo that's going to win this debate. But just in case you haven't, I mean, this is only for the minority that maybe aren't listening. I'll just tie everything together so that you lot understand that there's really levels to this football game. And Millie and Guillem haven't really showed you guys why it's Messi, but I know Flex and I have definitely, by the end of this debate, shown you why Ronaldo is. So let me tie up the points that have been said. Flex very clearly said that there's a difference between the God-given talents that Messi was given and Ronaldo. That's true, because you can tell from the start, Messi was regarded as this one kid, and he stayed that sort of a young Messi at the age of 17, like Millie said, and really done really well. I'm not here to tell you that Messi's not good. However, Ronaldo wasn't given that. When you saw Ronaldo, you thought, like, he's got something there, but he's not the complete package yet. And I think that's what makes you the best. The complete package is the growth. Now, in the game of football, you need growth. Messi's sort of just been, really, really good, quite consistently. I'll give you that. But Ronaldo, he's something you buy into. He's like a brand you buy into.
Emmanuel, on that point about growth.
Okay, yeah, go on, Millie.
If you spend so much time growing, surely that just means you're spending less time at the absolute top of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Millie. If you think that's the case, yet Ronaldo is still in a conversation with Messi, there clearly is something to say about that. You get it? If that point was as in, since Ronaldo's he can't be that good because he's only growing, but he's getting put against Messi, there must be a reason for that. And the reason for that is, again, like I said, because he's a brand you buy into. When he came to United, he wasn't what he really could be, but we could sort of see where he was going. And look at him now. One of the biggest, if the biggest footballer in the world. And I think that's the point I want to bring up today. You see, the game of football in the modern day is not just about what you're doing on the pitch anymore. It's really not. It's about the well-rounded footballer you are. But footballer does entail what you do outside of the pitch, what you do with the coaches, with the staff, with the public. Ronaldo is an icon. You don't get the same Ronaldo-esque. The word Ronaldo-esque, that's all. It's I don't know how to describe this, because you can't really sort of compare them and then say Messi's better, knowing how much Ronaldo has accomplished, but also the sort of brand he's the most followed player on Instagram and footballer on Instagram. You can't do that by accident. If he wasn't the best, he wouldn't be the most followed. Now, I'm not saying that means he's the best footballer in terms of what he does on the pitch, but I'm saying he's the best footballer in terms of what comes with being a footballer, which is the brand and your football. Yeah, Millie, go on. You don't agree?
You care so much about social media. Donald Trump is the most followed politician on social media. Do you also think he's the best politician then?
No, see, again, Millie, that's a very good point. And I'm not saying that makes Ronaldo a very good player. I'm saying that adds on to something. That's something Messi just does not have. Do you know what I mean? I'm here telling you what Messi doesn't have, Ronaldo has. Messi's been consistent, 17-year-old, yet he doesn't have the most following. Why is that? Because Ronaldo's a brand everyone buys into, and that's part of it. Millie, you did say about, Messi's got the magic. If Messi's so magical, why don't as many people buy into it? It's not really. That's pure math. That is. If more people buy into it, you'll be more followed. Now I'll go into some other points. And then it's an international stage. He's the record as a goal. He's a record goal scorer for Portugal, and he's won European Championship. But then Millie sort of brushed off the international front. Oh, it's not really that important because he does it in the UEFA. That's not what it's about. You put on your country's badge. You play your best. That's what Ronaldo does. That's what Messi didn't do. Millie, I don't really want to hear from you right now. Now, Guillem, he said, let's go to YouTube and check the videos. Now, guys, if I can pattern this for you, okay, hold on. Watch this for you. I don't know if this is cheating, but we're gonna watch this. We're going to watch this. Actually, let me give you some context. It is the 87th minute, 3-2 to Spain. It lies on this man's shoulders. Now, guys, before I play this for you, guess what he does? That's a goal. That's a goal. Guys, you can't make this up, okay? You can't make this up. I was sitting here. I'm not Portuguese. I'm not Spanish either. I was sitting there on my sofa, on the edge of the sofa, waiting for him to do that because his country's passions, his country's fervent in the competition, all of that stuff laid on his shoulder. And guess what? He delivered. Now, again, I'll talk about. Joe said I need to finish now, so sorry I've been so passionate. But Flex has also spoke about where he's done it in lots of places. Guys, I mean, you can't argue with that. How am I going from place to place and making a scene, let me read you this that was from the Goal Twitter account. And I'm not sure when it was, but in the 17 to 18 season, Cristiano Ronaldo was involved in 31 goals, 26 goals and 55 assists. That 94 goals in total. In 2018 to 19, Real Madrid scored 63 goals, exactly 31 less. So you can see that his literal impact, as in mathematical impact, resulted in their demise. Now, again, Flex talks about the what ifs. With that, I can't bring you a Messi stat because Messi plays in the same place. So you don't know where it is without Messi. You know where it is without Ronaldo. And you know where it is with Ronaldo. So if I'm picking my own team, I'm picking Ronaldo because I know what he'll bring. Not what he might bring if he's feeling up to it on the day. What he will bring and what he has been bringing. Thank you very much. Vote Ronaldo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Give him a round of applause. Flex is doing the mic drop there. Guillem, I can see he's looking like, oh, I'm not sure if I was allowed to use video evidence. Emmanuel was changing the rules a little bit there, but very effective, very powerful, and everyone's loving it in the chat. Now, Guillem and Flex, I know that you have other places to go. You're both very busy men, so thank you so much for joining us today. Now, just before we finish, can we just say a massive thank you to Guillem and to Flex for sharing their time and their expertise with us tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic to have them with us. Give them a massive round of applause. They've been phenomenal. Thank you.
It's been fun.
Spending the evening. Thank you, Guillem. I hope the Biggles Wade United board meeting goes well. You've got a lot more fans of the team now from this chat. And Flex.
I need to talk to Fletch about Biggles United and what memories he's got of it.
Yeah,
that's
so get in touch.
Something that we haven't even mentioned yet. Flex actually played against the team that Guillem is the chairman of years ago. And that shows that the rivalry has just been brewing for a while and it's just come to a head.
Two W's in a row. Imagine that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
2 wins in a row. Well, let's find out. You've got the poll up on the screen. I'm going to end it now and let's see who has won. Wow. It's a change. Ronaldo came through and won it. It's going from Messi to Ronaldo. Absolutely fascinating. I didn't see that one coming, but great job to everyone. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Thank you to the speakers. Thank you to Guillem, Emmanuel, Flex and Millie. Thank you to all of you all over the world that's tuning in today. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Follow Debate Mate on Twitter and Instagram. Look out for the next events that we do and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, everyone.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Bye.